Where I am now, better than before. Through those open doors, where I am now, where I am now, I'm in a special place. I'll tell you what embrace where I am now. It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, where I am now. And if you'd like to see us live in WGPL 1350 studio, WMVA 88.9 FM studio, all you have to do is go to Edward Everett's Facebook page or Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, and you can see us live right here in the studio. And if you want to hear us all over the globe, all you have to do is go to www.pce1400am.com or wgpl1350.com. And now I want to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. E. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Would you, could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors. Let's welcome WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
Peace 95.3 FM, WPCE 1400 AM, WMVA 88.9 FM, and good morning to you.
Facebook Live is on and popping. Let's also welcome Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We'll shout y'all later on in the show.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Like, share, comment, subscribe. Go over to YouTube, Cristo Records 1, CRISTO Records 1, or FYI Radio Show. Host Yolanda Hinton. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we promise we'll shout you out.
Shout out.
Mr. E, how was your weekend?
Had a wonderful weekend. How about yours?
It was beautiful, of course.
Good.
I tell you what, I enjoyed the little bit of snow that we got.
That's right. We got a little teeny bit of snow, and it was 34 degrees out there, so I got a little bit.
A little teeny bit wasn't bad. I wish it was more, but hey, I was satisfied with that. It didn't keep us locked down and closed in. We were able to move around in the city and everything. It was nice. Maybe we'll get a little bit more before the winter is on.
Maybe.
Absolutely. So what is going on today? It is FYI Radio Show, NFL Monday Sports Talk.
That's right. It's Monday Sports Talk, and what a busy weekend it was for Sports Talk.
I tell you what, we got some special friends with us. Mr. E, who's on the line?
Listen, I got a great friend of mine that's on the line, and I'm telling you, I had some dealings with him, and he's joining me on the couch. He's one of the greatest friends in the 49ers fan like never before. I want to say good morning to my good friend who's a San Francisco 49er fan, Mr. Fuller, and a pleasant good morning to you, Brother Bryant Fuller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, right.
FYI is in the building.
Woo, and Brian is too. Brian, you sound real good this morning.
That's right,
And
Brian.
I got my coffee and Mr. First Lady Hinton. It's always a pleasure to
Thank
be in the
you.
presence of you, of course,
Thank
on a great
you.
radio show.
Yeah, what makes you sound so happy? And then tell our audience a little bit about yourself, Brian.
The audience, I am a regular, very, very great friends with FYI. So, is I am in Oklahoma.
Oh, yes.
I do mentoring and wellness coaching, and you can also listen to me talk sports on the BGC Sport Network
Oh,
with one of my great friends, Mr. Cedric Bailey.
Yeah.
yes.
I'm just ecstatic because it's wild card weekend. Of course, I'm on the couch with Mr. E. Sitting on the sideline,
Ooh,
observing some of the great players
absolutely.
that put on the show.
And that's what we're going to talk about today, Mr. E. It was Wild Card Weekend.
That's right. It
Woo!
was wild. That's right. It was wild card weekend. And what wild cards did we see this weekend? Normally we would see the 49ers and the Cowboys up there, but no 49ers and no Cowboys up there. So we had only other teams. And guess what? I am so elated because the last team that played and talked with the 49ers was the team that beat the team that's in the wild card.
Well, I tell you what, Brian, talk about the season of the 49ers for us right now. And then we're going to talk about the wild cards.
Well, Ms. Hinton, the 49ers had a very disappointing season. Because, they're coming off of going to the Super Bowl, wasn't successful. So the guys were, going into the season with expectations of, being a playoff team, possibly controlling the NFC West, but the injury bug played.
Ooh, tell us about some of those injuries.
Some of the injuries, like their number one receiver, Brandon Ayuk, and that they had their number one running back, McCaffrey. He only played one game throughout the season. They had a rookie who had a high expectation who had got shot and robbed.
Oh my goodness.
So it was a tumultuous season for the 49ers. And I think the coach should be on the hot seat.
Uh-oh.
Put that out there.
Another coach. Uh-oh.
He needs to be on the hot seat, and they might not need to pay Brock Purdy the money that he's expecting to get.
Oh man, Mr. E is playing his violin. Mr. E, why are you playing your violin?
He know why.
Let's switch over to the Cowboys. Mr. E, tell us about their season and why did they go home?
Well, the Cowboys, you got to remember, Ms. Hinton, everybody in the NFL and the AFL want a piece of the Cowboys. There's 32 teams out there, including Cowboys, and 31 teams do not like America's team.
30.
So it's 31 teams. It's a crying shame that the 49ers can't be like the Cowboys when there's 32 teams. 31 of those teams, there was haters for the Cowboys because one, we the America's team, and everybody on them 31 teams has a Cowboy player on their team. So we train and we dispatch and give them out so that every team could have a Cowboy on it.
All right, tell us about this season now.
Well, we had a real bump season this year.
Ooh.
We had running back that we had running backs that won't back there no more. We made some poor decisions. Coaches made some poor decisions, and we had a lot of injuries out there. If you look at it, the Dallas Cowboys had only 6 names on the field, star names on the field.
Where was Dak
at
all
that
season?
time? Dak he got hurt during the midway of the season. And that's what happened to a lot of folks. And you're glad you said it, because a lot of ones in that 31 team didn't like Dak getting all that money. But they failed to realize, look at Purdy that played for the 49ers. He got paid, and so, he didn't do nothing neither. So Dak got hurt, so Dak had an excuse of why. But what was Purdy's reason why he couldn't make that money?
Well,
why he got paid?
Brian, what do you think about this whole statement of Mr. E, this speech?
Mr. E should not let his
he can't even get it out.
That is misleading, Mr. E.
Fake news.
He has not gotten paid.
Who?
Purdy has not gotten paid yet.
Yet.
They're thinking about paying him, but he hasn't got paid. And more kudos to Dak, but Dak hasn't performed.
Yeah, he needs to bring that money back.
Well,
bring the money back.
Here's the thing that you got to remember about the Dallas Cowboys. The organization started in 1960, and we had numerous of African American players up there. Now, because the Dallas Cowboys started in 1960 and they broke the barriers, they broke the racial barriers. So Dak was the one that broke the barrier when it came to the bank. He's the first African American quarterback that got paid. That's getting paid.
Well, Brian, you need your violin too. Well, listen, let's go ahead. Good, you play. Let's go ahead and talk about NFL Wild Card Weekend.
Well, we had a great week, the NFL Wild Card Weekend, and it's going to be a great barn burner on tonight. And you don't want to miss tonight. The Falcons play against the Rams, but we had a Houston Texans and the Chargers play on yesterday, and the Texans came through 32-12. What do you think about that, Brian?
I think that CJ
Texas
is proving that he is a consistent franchise quarterback. And Houston, he elevated Houston to once again another playoff victory.
That's right. That's right.
In his second year, he has already had the same amount of playoff wins as Dak Prescott, who's been stealing all that money.
Now you had to.
CJ Stroud. I'm impressed with the coach, DeMeco Ryans. I don't expect them to win this upcoming week against the Chiefs, but they were impressive.
That's right. But at least the 49ers wasn't there, because all that old McCartney and all them folk they had on their team, all them big leaguers that got a big name, the only Caucasian fellow running back that was taking them to the they were supposed to take him to the promised land. Miss Hinton, then we go down to Baltimore, Chocolate City.
Yes.
We go down to Baltimore and we visit Chocolate City. That's it, with the
Ravens and the Steelers.
That's right, with the Ravens and the Steelers. And
28-14. Brian, what did you think of that game?
Now, that was an exciting game.
Absolutely.
And all I can say is MVP.
Yeah.
Lamar.
Yeah,
Jackson.
that's right.
Now, were you surprised? Did you surprise about the Steelers? The Steelers did pretty good this season.
To be honest, I'm very surprised. I know there's talk of Mike Tomlin being on the hot seat, but I think he made a very bold decision to replace Justin Fields
with Wilson,
Russell Wilson in the middle of the season. But we have to be honest. Russ should be making AARP commercials.
Oh, shade.
He just don't have the juice no more. I'm sorry.
And you're right about that.
Maybe part to blame with the Steelers' offense being anemic. That's just all I'm saying.
And you're right about that.
Henry, they brought the thunder and the lightning, though.
And I'm in agreement with you, Brian. You are right. Russell Wilson, he should have been making some AARP commercials instead of out there trying to brand
him a pair of Wilson cleats, bring them boys back alive. You know, that's what we used to wear back in the days of old, Wilson cleats. So he trying to bring them boys back alive. And since he trying to bring them boys, they got boo boo out
I tell you,
by the Ravens.
So look, you all mentioned the MVP. You all think? Tell us a little bit about that before we move on.
Yeah, I believe that Lamar Jackson will be. I think it's two of them up there. The running back for the Baltimore Ravens did such an outstanding job, but because Lamar Jackson is 5 years in the league, and yes, he is known as a running quarterback and a halfback. So yeah, let's put him on the MVP list along with Josh.
When you say Brian,
yeah, I'm saying Lamar outdid Josh.
In Buffalo?
Over 4,000 yards. Yeah. Lamar outthrew Josh, more yards. Lamar definitely outran Josh by hundreds of yards.
Because he's a running quarterback.
4 interceptions, Mr. E, in 17 games.
He's a running quarterback.
4 interceptions.
Wow.
Well, Josh.
17 games.
Yes.
Well,
that means Lamar didn't throw an interception in at least 13 games.
Well, you got to remember the reason.
That's pretty phenomenal. If I'm an owner, I would be pleased with those type of numbers from Lamar.
Well, glad you're not the owner. Glad you're not the owner.
You run 45 touchdowns. I mean, that's impressive, Mr. E.
Well, you got to look at.
All right.
Well, you got to look at Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills. He of the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills when they played 31-7. I think Josh did a wonderful job. What do you think? 31-7.
He did a wonderful job against a very young, inexperienced Denver team. Denver's tough.
But 10-7, Denver was a 10-7.
Their rookie quarterback, Bo Nix, we knew that he wasn't going to be able to keep up with Josh. He wasn't going to be able to produce 4 to 5 touchdowns in Buffalo. Ooh. I mean, it's just what it is.
Well, and when we look at it, Brian, we look at, none of them was your team and none of them was my team. So, I'm not even really fizzing out. But, Brian, this is what I want to tell you. How many of those teams out there that's playing in the wild card that is in your division?
Los Angeles Rams.
I hear mice. Ain't but one in your division. But how many in my division? In my division is out there making us shine. Call the name.
Oh, that's from the NFC week. I mean the NFC East.
It called the name in my division.
You have the Washington Commanders, who their coach, Dan Quinn, was just in a Dallas uniform last season.
That's right.
That should be a black eye on Dallas for not elevating or electing Dan Quinn as the coach, Mr. E.
Well, he didn't show that he wanted to be a coach.
Who went to Chocolate City? He must have ate some good food up there. Reggae clubs. And he just go dancing.
He got bit by the bug.
He's doing historical things in Washington.
Now you got the other one that you need to name is the Philadelphia Eagles.
Ooh.
Yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles are flying high.
Fire.
That's right. Philadelphia Eagles and Jalen and Saquon.
No, don't you say Jalen.
Don't you be mad at Jalen. Saquon Barkley.
Why you say that, Brian?
Because A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, his targets, they only got 5 targets yesterday.
Well, they was covering them like crazy.
On the sideline. Did y'all see him reading the book in a minute? That brother.
Yes.
You telling me in the playoff game he over there reading the book because he can't get a pass?
He was reading the playoff
study.
book. He was
sitting there studying.
He was reading the playoff book
what he studying for?
Because you got to remember the run game came through.
The run game came through.
That's right, because the Packers lost to the Philadelphia Eagles 22-10, and my hats off to my division because I got two teams playing either or are gonna be in the playoff, maybe go to the Super Bowl.
Well, the Green Bay Packers had 10, the Eagles 22. Are you surprised? And you guys surprised that the Eagles came through like that?
No, yeah, I know. I'm not surprised that the Eagles came through
They did pretty good this season.
Jay, with Saquon Barkley, that brother got that last run and could have ran all the way. Did you see that?
Yeah, he just slid.
He just slid and said, "Look, I'm not going to run the game up."
But you know, Mr. E, I have to give Philadelphia Eagles defense a lot of credit because they actually were beating and punishing the Green Bay Packers.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Like every other play, you had a Packer player going to the blue tip.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
He was very physical, and if they keep playing that brand of football, we might have them going to the NFC Championship.
You talking about going to the 10th? You know, I thought that Tampa Bay Buccaneers was going to put some on those Commanders.
You did. Well, it was close.
You talking about going to the 10th? They done punched Jalen Daniels in the eye. You know, cut his eye all.
That was a rough game. I think the Buccaneers they kind of like they rough. They are rough players.
They knocked him all up in the bleachers, and you know they were like a little rag doll out there
play with them.
against the Buccaneers.
They might have lost, but I'm telling you, they play hard.
By a field goal, it was a loss by a field goal. If it hadn't hit the post, they would have been a tie ball game.
Ooh, that was a rough game, Brian. What you think? What you think about the Commanders now? Their season, they did pretty good.
Well, here's one for you, Brian.
Above expectations.
Absolutely.
I didn't expect the Commanders to go to the playoffs with behind the rookie, you know, and a pretty, you know, those guys to me, they're not just superstar laden. I mean, Scary Terry, he's done Pro Bowl type play this year. But you're right, Miss Hinton. That Tampa Bay team is some of them guys were on the championship.
Ooh, they scared me.
You know what?
I've seen that they were vets.
That's right.
The young bull.
That's right, and they was putting it on. They was putting it on Daniels like crazy. But you got to remember, with a young squad that the Commanders had, when was the last time? I think it was 20 years before they got an opportunity to really be in the playoff. 20 years. But
what did they do different this season? What happened?
Young Bucks.
Did it have anything to do with Magic Johnson coming over there? Brian, how come their season turned around? Because last season it wasn't that good.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, it started with the coach. They had a clean house with Ron Rivera, Eric Bieniemy, and you know that was a good caliber. But it seems like Dan Quinn
from Dallas Cowboys
to these young guys.
Well, you know, every time you turn around, when you get new meat, new things, you know, you got brand new shoes on. You want everybody to see your little brand new shoes. So what happens is everything was brand new at Dallas. Now they done got in the Commanders. Now the Commanders has to find somewhere to live. Now they got to find somewhere to go. And you know, they're flying high now. You know, but I believe next year gonna tell the tale.
It will. So you have some things to worry about in that division, Mr. E.
Well, you know, the draft is coming up.
Tell us why you say that, Brian.
Jaden Daniels is only 23 years old. That's 33.
Okay.
That's a big difference.
Well, we got Trey Young. We're going to bring Trey Young in there.
You can get that guy in the next 5-6 years, Mr. E.
You're going to bring Trey Young in there. Bring Trey Young. Bring Trey Young ain't hit the back of a barn in years. So, you know, so that's our young youth that we're going to bring in. But we plan on going back to the bargaining table and pull up some great people.
Well, these were some great games. But I heard Brian mention KC a minute ago. What did y'all think about that last game? I'm talking about now we're going to
Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City, yeah, KC, Kansas City Chiefs. What that last game, Mr. E, kind of pull that in. What happened?
With the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah, that last game they played.
Well, the Kansas City Chiefs, it was a 0-0 game. But the thing about it is, they put this. All they did was last week is put their third and fourth string in there. That's what caused them not even to score not 1 point. They put their has been back there.
Does it sound right to you? It just I couldn't kind of understand.
They put their second string. All the teams. I think it was mandatory, Brian, that they put all of the second and third string.
Something happened.
Second and third strings back there.
They rested those guys.
That's right, rested them up. So that means that Patrick Mahomes don't have to come out there and play. All the injuries, they've been on a bye, but they
saying they lost on purpose.
They did that on purpose because they didn't bring the good guy. That they didn't bring. It's no sense of putting him out there and he's going to get hurt.
Okay.
What do you think about the picks that we got for the playoff brackets so far? You got Houston against Kansas City. Who's going to win?
Kansas City Chiefs, of course.
Yes.
All right. You got Baltimore against Buffalo.
Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
You got the Washington Commanders against the Detroit Lions.
Ooh.
Detroit Lions will win.
Okay. Then you got Philadelphia against who plays them in Minnesota or either the Chargers.
Yeah, that should be still the Eagles. The defense showed me wrong, man.
Well, Minnesota, man. I am a little skeptical about the Minnesota Vikings coming off a great season of 14-3, and not only that, they are playing some good ball.
Are you surprised, Brian? The Vikings last season, this season, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson for combination because I didn't expect Sam Darnold to perform like that. I really did. I thought he was through. I thought he was washed up.
What do you think about the Commanders? I'm going back to the Commanders, having been on the boards for 20 years.
It just,
20 years of being in last place. 20 years of being in third and last place, fourth and fifth place. Now they got this young squad that brought them up. 20 years. You mean to tell me 20 years they let all that go by for 20 years being on the bottom?
Being on the bottom. You should be worried, Mr. E.
Ooh.
No, I shouldn't be worried. They're in my division.
In your division, but we like to see you all come through.
But the Americans team gonna be through next year. You can rest assured. We got the people in our hip pocket along with the 49ers. We are America's team. Say it, Brian. Say it with me. Dallas Cowboys.
The American team is now the Kansas City Chiefs.
No,
amazing.
Never that. You know for a fact that win, lose, or draw, that the value of the box office going down because the Cowboys are not there. The tickets are not selling, and TV ratings has gone down. That's why they went to different.
Who said that?
Because the Cowboys.
Mr. E, that's fake news.
Because the Cowboys is not there.
Don't listen to that. Them Cowboy games, people are snoozing.
Yeah, right. You know, my song was enough. I had a number one hit song last year.
What's
Year before
the
that.
hit song?
That Mama, let your baby grow up and be cowboys.
Oh Lord, give us a violin now.
Now, you want to hear something, Miss Hinton?
Go ahead.
Brian is right there in Oklahoma, right?
Yes.
And that's our special guest in Oklahoma. Brian, what do you see more of in Oklahoma?
Oh my goodness.
Oh wow.
I don't see any Cowboys.
Come on, Brian, tell the truth. What do you see?
But look, predictions for this evening game, guys. Give us some predictions.
Who you going with, Brian? Huh?
Minnesota Vikings.
Oh,
They should take care of the Rams tonight.
yeah.
That's right. I'm going with the Vikings also, but I normally go against you, Brian, because you know you're 49ers. I probably take the Chargers, but the Vikings gonna pull it through.
All right.
Okay.
Well, Brian, thank you so much for being on again. Look, we look forward to you coming on a little bit more as we get closer and closer to the NFL Super Bowl.
Yes, ma'am. It would be a pleasure indeed.
Sing it. Mama, let your baby.
Oh, God. Brian, have a wonderful day.
Here and now.
Have a great day, Brian.
Love you, man.
You too. Love y'all too.
Bye.
Great.
God bless you all. Thank you for joining us for Sports Talk. Join us this evening for FYI After Dark. Be blessed. Have a wonderful day.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett. And for more information, you give us a call at 757-714-7861, or you can email us at FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 right here on WGPL 1350, WMVA 88.9 Peace, 95.3, and WPCE 1400 AM, and on all social media platforms. Have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. Bye now.
Wow, Mr. E, this season has been fire. I mean, some upsets, some disappointments, but we had some winners, some losers, but some great, great games.
That's right. We had some great games, and that's what it takes. Great games, great games. That's what we saw. Great games. But yeah. I wished for yesterday that they put some rocks in KD's pockets.
How come?
The boy's so light. When they hit him yesterday, them Patriots hit him yesterday, he looked like a rag doll out there.
I tell you, the injuries, you know, some people, I mean, it's just, I don't know how people can sit there and look at it sometimes, but you're going to definitely one time or another get injured. And sometimes it's not that pretty.
That's right.
You know?
That's why I say that, you know, they got to protect that young man. That young man is, you know, don't be like the rest of the team. Take you to the promised land, and then y'all kick him to the curb. You know, that's what some football teams do. He's on a roll now. Yes. He's a Heisman Trophy winner in 2017. So he's on a roll now, and he's got great numbers. He's good under pressure. And he don't mind getting up there and get out of there, getting up there and run. He knows how to stay in the pocket. He knows how to be cool, calm, and collected. He's a thinker. And I like that young man because he knows how to, you know, to do what he's opened himself for any other team that needs a quarterback. And if they got that money, they'll get it.
Mr. E, who is your favorite player across the board, not just with the Cowboys, but who do you know that's going to bring the fire for their team and for the season?
Well, I like that boy called Saquon Barkley. I mean, what a finesse running back. What a person that's behind the line that don't mind, you know, running hard, don't mind. He reminds me of Herschel Walker. Wow. He reminds me of being the type of fellow that you know, Herschel Walker was better known as training with bulls in his training area back in the days of old with Houston, Texas. And when Herschel Walker went out there to play, Saquon Barkley, he's an acrobatic football running back. He turns backwards and jumps over top of people, and he's a hard running. And he could have ran the game up last night, but guess what he decided to do? He decided to slide and not score that final touchdown.
Ooh, I tell you what, it was definitely wild card fire weekend. We're going to continue to cover the games. Mr. E, you're going to look at the game tonight. What are your expectations?
Tonight, the Minnesota Vikings will be playing against the Chargers. Now, LA has to change places to play at.
How come?
They had because of the fire. Because of the fire.
Absolutely.
So it's a mental game because some people they had to bust their families to make sure that their families were okay. Well, I hope it doesn't play mentally on the minds of LA because that would give them excuse. But the LA Chargers say they're ready to go, and so so tonight Minnesota Vikings bring your A game.
They've been bringing it though. The Vikings to me have really been really a shocker to me. I'm like, wow, because I followed last season and I was like, this season is like, oh, really? You all gonna play that ball?
Yeah.
And they did. So yeah, I'll be checking out the game. You all make sure you check out the game, but also check us out this evening. FYI After Dark. We may do FYI replay, or we may be on live. We'll let you know. In the meantime, you all stay blessed. Follow the games. Keep rah cheering for your team. And we're going to go all the way to the Super Bowl, honey, and enjoying the ride.
I want to say thank you so much, Miss Sheila Robbins, for tuning in to the Most Talked About radio show. Miss Denise Sherrod, thank you so much.
She's a happy girl.
And we want to say happy belated birthday to you. I know last week, I think it was your birthday.
It was yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't know. Happy birthday to you. And guess what? The Commanders finally pulled.
They're doing good.
They pulled themselves out from the ashes. I'm glad you said that the Commanders had pulled themselves up from the ashes. Pull himself up from the ash. It's finally.
Mr. E, we have MSD757 on Instagram. Also Herden, HOIAR_1. Join us as well. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you so much for your support. We're going to see you all later on. But don't forget Wednesday and Friday to join us for some more of our great FYI radio shows. Mr. E is going to tell you how you can be a special guest. First of all, don't forget to visit our sponsors, Bulvic Academy, BULVIC, BulvicAcademy.com, and BeardGods.com, BeardGods.com. Don't forget the ladies' music, make it all right. And don't forget, you can be a special guest, sponsor, or intern with FYI Radio Show.
If you'd like to be a special guest sponsor or intern of the Most Talked About radio show, or if you'd like to sit in the audience, all you have to do is give us a call at 757-714-7861, or you can inbox us on Facebook at Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, or FYI Facebook page, or you can email us your email, and we'll get back with you so that we can tell you what day and what time is good for you, find out if it's good for you, so that you can be in our audience of the Most Talked About radio show in the whole wide world. If you think that FYI need to improve and do something different, or you think of there is some shows that you would love or some topic you would love for us to put on, give us a call at 757-714-7861 or email us at FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com.
All right now.
FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com. FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com.
We're going to see you later on. Be blessed. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
2 up, 2 down. 2 up, 2 down. 2 up,